Alright, hey everyone, it's DarrellaaS here, and I'm just setting up to do a discussion on what's happening in the Office 365 Message Center. And that's what I'm trying to do is a regular review during the week, so we are going to get started in a little while. Just wanting to make sure that my stream's coming through. I'm trying to do a few new and different things as I learn a bit more about the software and what I've got capable. I've done some pre-recorded demos of some of the things that we're going to look at in the Message Center, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, thanks for your patience. What have we got going here? A couple more minutes. Just check to see if there's anyone watching. And what I'm trying to do too, I guess, is rather than being all perfect about it, I'm going to try and stream it. I've got Twitter open. We can have a conversation about this. Not a lot going on here. I know it's just a new thing that I'm doing, but at least what happens is that as I'm doing this, it does archive the content out to my YouTube channel as well, so people can consume that. So I guess I'll try and find a good balance between being able to do a little intro as I'm setting up, try and engage with a live audience as they come on board, and then also have some content there at the beginning. So we'll see how that goes. So I've made a few notes too. I'm a big fan of OneNote, so there was a few changes in there that I was quite excited about this week. So Windows 10 OneNote, I've been trying to use that a bit more because I find it a better inking experience. And what I've got now is the handles to be able to reorder thoughts and paragraphs and sentences within the Windows 10 app. So yeah, pretty keen about that. And you see that actually forms my show notes and guides me through what I'm going to talk about. What I've also done with my software, just while we've got a couple more minutes, is I've ordered the different scenes, so I'm able to just cycle through and go, right, this is demo 1, and I transition, demo 2, transition, and for each of these demos I've linked off to a media file, so it should play through, and I should be able to just talk about it as we go along. So here we go, we're on that live in 5, so it's 11:15 right now in New Zealand on a Saturday. Thank you everyone for tuning in, if you are tuning in, and we're just going to go through the Message Center. The Message Center as it was, maybe Friday. It's not over yet with the US, so there could be some other things going on, but it's my Saturday, and I thought I'd just put this thing together for you again, try and get it as a repeat. So I just wanted to take us into the Message Center, and it's almost my way of being able to make sure that I'm checking on the messages as well. These are certain things that are specific to my tenants, and I can go into my admin center and check that out. And if I didn't do this broadcast or this list, then maybe I probably wouldn't spend so much time looking in it. And this is something I want to encourage you as admins of Office 365, is to go in here and regularly check what's going on in your tenant or tenants for your partners and customers. So we did go through some announcements last week, and I really want to start off with the one announced on the 21st of February within my tenant, and that's talking about the SharePoint library. So let's just transition over to a larger view so you can see that with me. And it's expanding on the file management of SharePoint libraries. Now let's just have a quick check and see if my review, yep, that's still streaming, very good. The expanding capabilities, as I was looking into this, and you might already be seeing this in your tenants, but it's been able to copy files between SharePoint sites and between OneDrive to SharePoint. So I'm just going to flick over and try out this video as we talk through it. We should be able to go through to demo, transition through to here. Alright, so what we've got is I'm selecting a file. I'm just trying to go through and actually try and show you that you're able to go into your OneDrive and copy a file from a team site and into the OneDrive. So if we let's see if I can screw this up over here. Going into different places as well, so I'm able to go and browse through to different sites. Now, one of the things I observed here was that I can try and show the sites that I have favorited or I'm following, but at the moment I'm not showing any recent sites that I've visited, and this being that it's been a while since I've visited, so there's no recent activity within or what's being picked up by the Microsoft graph. So I picked that if I visited another site or that became a regular thing, then I'd see that there. So I'm going into a site now that I managed to find that I can copy content into, and you can see from that status message it's copied through, and I can click directly through to that and go to where the document is in the site. So that's quite useful, being able to go through and confirm that that's there. We're able to copy up to 500 megabytes of file. A file that's up to 500 megabytes. Now, the other thing that I noticed about this as I was trying to check through and what was capable was that I couldn't get into. Now, this is a site that is a separate site collection, so I can see the libraries that are in there, but I can't get in and actually copy the file to it. Maybe the feature's still rolling out, but you see here that my site is separated by the site's path, and it's a sub-site of the school site collection. So I'm unable to copy the files there for some reason. Again, that might be something that's going to be corrected later. What I also found too, and I'm just going to go in here and show you that as an example, is there's a Office 365 group which has a team site, and I can't browse into there and copy those files. So I've got my operations site over here. It is a team site, and you can see from the group conversations link that I'm able to click through and see the Office 365 group at that stage. But it's something that I'm also unable to copy files or move files to. So I guess that's again something else that they're working on, might be stage 2, stage 3 or whatever. Now, just as a finishing off with this particular update or feature, I can select a file, and I'm in my OneDrive now, and I can select a file and a folder, and I think you can do this from the team site. I didn't demonstrate that before, but I'm going to copy it into a team site, that same team site we looked at earlier, and that just copies through. I use the status message again to be able to check on that, and you can see that the folder and files are there. So that's let me get through transition there and push that over here. So that's what I found with that update. That's going to be I've got to say it's quite exciting to me. It's something that I found frustrating in terms of being able to try and organize my files, but I couldn't put them in the sites that I wanted to. And what I think with being able to copy the files from OneDrive into a team site, that's probably the most important thing. We find with people that are not used to copying files into team sites, they're not thinking corporately and putting it into an area where their team is, that they tend to the default behavior is to create a file and put it in OneDrive and maybe share it out from there. And so people are sharing and creating this mesh of permissions. And now what we're able to do is move that file from that OneDrive very easily, or even the folder as you saw, into a team site so that we can truly share it with our team, and we're able to put it in a place which is much more useful for teamwork. Looking forward to seeing being able to copy those files and move those files into a team site within a different site collection, or within a Office 365 group, which is actually a different site collection. So what's our next announcement? We use previous actually, because I'm working my way up from the start of the week. I think we covered this one last week, but there was the Delve personalized search. So this being that as I'm going into Delve, I can begin to, even before I start typing my search query, and I'm using Delve more as search, that the results are personalized to the people that I'm interacting with, the recent files that I've been working on, and as I begin to type my search, of course, it begins to present those results on the fly. So that was that personalized search. I think I covered that last week, but that's cool. We'll go back into another item here. And it's another one I'm quite keen on and excited about is Office 365 groups, that when we create a new team site, we're able to create a group at the same time. So we already know that when we create a group, we get a team site. Awesome. Starts to sound like an Oprah thing. You get a team site! Everybody gets a team site! Anyway, thank you, Jethro Seegers, for giving me that meme stuck in my head from this week. But the other direction, when you're creating a team site, how about being able to create that Office 365 group? So where does that occur? Let me just transition over to my next demo. There we go. So we have a team site, or rather I'm in the Sharepoint home, and I've clicked new team site and just creating a new site just to demonstrate. It's going through all the usual bits and pieces you'd see when you're trying to create an Office 365 group. It's checking availability. It's making it very simple for me to add additional members, team members to that site, and also co-owners. So this will of course go in the background and add the right permissions that an owner can co-help or help me with running the site, and that Matt of course there is going to be a member. So we get our site very quickly. What I have noticed is, okay, this is good, I can start using that content. It does take a little while for that site to provision the Office 365 group pieces, so there's all that forward syncing going on. You see here I'm in my Outlook web access now, and the site or the group itself isn't there yet. So it will appear, and I will check on that a bit later on, but that's certainly something that we're able to take advantage of. And back to our announcements, or our other final couple of happenings within my Office 365 tenant. We have the Office 365 Secure Store. I haven't really looked into this very much yet, but it seems to be a way of being able to make sure that you're being secure. You get like a credit score, you get a security score. So I'm not sure where that pops up yet within the tenant. If I look around, I guess I would expect it to be in the security and compliance. And sorry, Microsoft Garage, I haven't done my homework. You've probably already done a video on this and published a few KB articles and support articles. So of course I could click through to additional information. Let's do that live. Let's see if we come up with something useful. There we go. It was announced on the 10th of February, so it is rolling out as we speak, and we should be able to find our score somewhere here. Score analyzer. Looks to be, I'll look at it later. But yeah, I'm just pointing you to that, so that might be appearing within your tenant as well. So that's pretty cool. And finally, there is some planned maintenance on my message center. So maybe next week I'll see something different in my message center. So that's it for this week. Hopefully this stream has come through and it is useful. And of course this is going to be archived, so do check out the rest of my videos on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to spin up this Darrell as a Service Live for a bit of fun. And I'm also working a bit with a group of really enthusiastic Office 365 writers on reoffice365.com, and we're kind of trying to do the same thing. I'm playing around with live content on Facebook Live as well. So thanks again. Do tune in next time, probably same time next week. See how we go. Thanks.